So I recently stopped by the thrift store because that's what I do. And I often find gems, treasures, but sometimes I find things that are questionable and things that I'm like, really? That's what was in at the time? But yet again, there's a whole bunch of things that are questionable that are new. So that's a different video, but today we're gonna make beautiful things. Today I'm doing my thrift store service and we are going to take not so attractive items and we're gonna make them beautiful. We're gonna make them look high-end. We're gonna make them look unique and give us that wow factor that I think is sometimes needed in this space. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanna thank Manscaped for partnering in today's video, but more on them later. Also, I'm Jorge if you're new here, and I'm your new home decor friend. I often save the best for last, but let's start off with a banger. Let's hope at least. These are bowls, wooden bowls. Now this one painted with a lovely pineapple. I think this was purely decorative. I don't know if this was actually used for food. It's fine, you know, it has like a modern shape to it. It's fine. This one right here is a wooden one by the Hearth and Hand collection, I believe. It looks like it definitely got its good use. It could probably be refinished and, you know, served as a bowl again. We are going to create something kind of interesting. Designer Kelly Wersler, I love her work. She has this like bowl collection. I think they're bowls. They're very cool. They have like these legs. I'll put a picture in there so you can see. Very amazing. And often with high-end design, you want sort of elements that are kind of maybe a little bit quirky, but more unique and interesting. And you want to have fun with design, but sometimes that comes with a hefty price. So today we're going to try to recreate it, not really recreate, but kind of get inspired by those bowls and create something that has a little bit of interest, kind of architectural in a sense, and see if we can do that. Now, a new tool I'm adding to my tool belt, and it's actually very affordable, is this thing right here. This is called a contour gauge, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, this is traditionally used like maybe on flooring. If you want to like trace out maybe like some weird corner or something, you can contour things with this. So let me show you. I'm gonna contour my face. Let's see if I can do this. It's weird. Oh my. So that's the contour of my face, I guess. And then you can just like trace over it and then you can cut out a shape that fits. Anyways, this is actually really affordable, so I'll link it below for you. So we'll take our bowls and we can find the curve here with this contour. Then we can use this and trace on a piece of paper. Oh, hi friend. We are going to contour this bowl using the contour. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom. That's okay. We'll kind of eyeball it. So we're going to draw it on a piece of paper to create our little template here. Just kind of eyeballing, honestly. Then I'm going to finish up the outer edges with a ruler, kind of create a 90-degree angle that will be our quote-unquote fins. We're going to do that with the other bowl, of course. Cut out the shape, make sure it fits nicely. For our little fins, I'm going to call them fins, I'm going to use the scrap piece of MDF board from a previous project. This is a 1/4 inch thickness. I know that they sell small sheets at the store in case you're looking for something smaller, and it's actually very budget friendly. I'm going to clamp it down to the table, cut down these shapes that I drew on there, about 12 I would say, using a jigsaw. Jigsaws are actually very easy to use if you don't have one, pretty safe I would say. I'm going to link this one below for you, or maybe the cordless version because sometimes the cord gets in the way. And just slightly sand these little shapes, making sure that they fit. Okay, we're back inside, so we have our bowl here. I actually went ahead and sanded each piece individually just to make sure it was nice and smooth and knock off any rough edges. And as you can see, they fit nice and perfectly. And even if they don't fit perfectly, it's okay. We're going to use some caulking to kind of cover the edges, as you'll see here in a moment. But first, let's go ahead and glue it onto the bowls. To glue this onto the bowl, I'm going to be using some Gorilla Glue just because I have it laying around, but honestly any glue would work that would work on wood. Then I'm going to use some of the silicone glue, actually by Gorilla brand, just to hold it into place while the other glue dries, just clamping it down a little bit with some tape. Honestly, it wasn't really that necessary. And then just do it for the others. And honestly, I'm kind of eyeballing and making sure that the spacing is evenly, but you know, it doesn't need to be that perfect. And of course, do the same thing for the other bowl. Once that glue's dried, I went ahead and removed the tape, and let's go in and fill the cracks with some caulking. Here I'm using Alex Flex. I believe this stuff is paintable and it dries pretty quickly, so I'm just applying it, trying to make a big mess, but you know, it happens. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I allowed everything to dry overnight. Did a little bit of light sanding where needed, but it's looking really good, as you can see here. Very sculptural. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of doing this on the fly. So I was thinking maybe like coating this with that cement material that I've done in the past. I think looks more authentic than the baking soda and paint technique. But for the inside, in terms of like the actual bowl, it's pretty smooth. And I was thinking maybe I could do something different and like do like a pop of color, maybe red or something. Would that look good? I don't know. I guess I could try it, and if I don't like it, I could just paint over it. It's not a big deal, but I really don't know. What would you do? Let's just go with it and see what happens. Okay, I figured it out. So I went over to my spray paint stash and I came across the satin bronze. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spray paint the inside of this, and then for the sides we're gonna do sort of that warm tone cement look. Oh my, I think this is my favorite part. We're gonna use Henry's Feather Finish. This stuff is basically like a cement skim coat. I've used this time and time in my projects. I'm gonna add a little bit of color. The color is buff. I'll link that below as well. Mixing it up to create sort of a warm tone cement color. And I'm really kind of just brushing it on like paint. I added enough water so that it feels very thick and paintable, if that makes sense. Once that first coat dries, I'm gonna go in, do the second coat. So I'm kind of just waiting maybe a couple of hours in between each coat. Total of 2 coats and letting that fully dry. I did not use any sealer this time, but it's optional. But this is the final result. Okay, so this is the part where I move on to the next project, but I just have to say, I'm very impressed with how these turned out. It's amazing what you can do with some time and a couple of dollars. It really is quite affordable. But let's make this one go viral. Let's, share this video, like, comment, all of those amazing things. Okay, let's move on to the next project. So Valentine's Day is coming up, and maybe you're looking for a gift idea for the man in your life. And no worries, Manscaped has you covered because they have gifts your man will actually use. The Performance Package by Manscaped is the #1 recommended gift that men actually want this Valentine's Day. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. This 4th generation trimmer features advanced skin-safe technology and cutting-edge ceramic blades to reduce grooming accidents, a new multifunction on and off switch to engage in travel lock, and yes, it is waterproof. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker. This nose and ear hair trimmer features proprietary skin-safe technology which helps prevent nicks, knacks, and tugs in those delicate holes. Seal the deal with Manscaped top-selling formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Both formulations are vegan, cruelty-free, dye-free, sulfate-free, and paraben-free, so you know your man's manhood is in good hands. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag, which is perfect for on the go, maybe a little weekend getaway. Have your man join the other 2 million men who trust Manscaped. Now you can get 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/GasaRefined. Keep him shaved, keep him happy, keep yourself happy with Manscaped. Open your heart, honor each other, enjoy peace. These are really great words, but we don't need a candle holder to tell us this. So we are going to improve this piece of device. We are going to make little busts, I guess, kind of those like vintage looking busts. Often they're made out of stone and all sorts of things, but I also found this right here. It was sort of figurine of a man and a woman kind of just you know, having a moment. We're gonna make our own sort of distressed vintage looking bust, kind of by stacking it and painting them. This might be one of those projects where it's like, all right, he tried, but I also found this wooden box, or not a wooden box, stone box. I think is maybe part of a bathroom set at one point, you know, for like putting cotton balls or what have you. This cute little puppy. Maybe it's cute, I don't know. I like dogs, I guess. But this is like, I have no idea what this is made out of. I feel like it's some sort of stone. It feels like stone. It's quite heavy. But we're gonna make a little bust and hope for the best. First thing I'm gonna do is remove that little knob from the stone lid, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn this upside down to make sure that I can stack it on there. Look at that, perfect, meant to be. So I'm gonna spray paint this with this sort of off-white color. I can't remember the exact name, but I'll link it below. This is kind of like almost like a bone color. I'm gonna get really into those cracks and crevices. While I'm at it, let me spray paint the base with a flat black. Ooh, let's have some fun. I'm gonna put on my vintage collector hat on. We are going to take this new bust and we are going to make it look old and distressed and vintage. So we're gonna take some paint and using some brown paint, some black paint, and a little bit of green to create a nice patina, or faux patina. Of course, adding a little bit of water, kind of watering down the paint. I'm gonna take it step by step here. Keeping it simple, I'm going to start off with the green. So I'm just like brushing it on there very sloppily. It does not need to be perfect. It's okay. We're going to go back in there a little bit later, as you will see. Then I'm going to go in with some brown, creating sort of that aged look. Then I'm going to add some black paint. I know what you're thinking, Jorge, that does not look so good. Don't worry, we're going to go in with a paper towel and kind of wipe it off gently. Not all the way. We still want some of that paint to be left over. As you can see, that starts to create that nice aged look. Then I'm adding some white paint, just dabbing it on there with the paper towel, just to create a little bit of a luminant look, if that makes sense. Once that fully dries, let's go ahead and glue this up with some Gorilla Glue, some hot glue to hold it in place while that Gorilla Glue dries, and there we have it. For the other one, very straightforward. We don't even need to do anything. We just have to glue it onto the stone box, and there we have it. Those are our statues. Okay, moving on, let's do some wall art, because wall art's always a fun thing to do. Even if you're not artistic, I feel like this is going to be one of those that you can definitely approach. So at thrift stores, I often find a lot of frames and paintings, a lot of bad paintings too, but we can always paint over things if that's something you want to do. It's a good way to get some nice large wall art on a fraction of the price and get something custom too. So I actually found these two right here. I feel like these are brand new. They still have the original tag on them, but they're definitely not new. They're pretty vintage looking. And I think it's one of those things where you put like photos in. It has the little compartments for that. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna make something kind of more modern and simple. Artist Jackson Pollock once said, "Art is coming face to face with yourself." Now, who knows if this one will actually do that, but we'll get into it anyways. This is going to be only done with paper, not paint. So I actually got this paper from my local craft store, or I guess Hobby Lobby. They have a couple of different sort of poster size, just different papers. And I really like this combination, black, white, and gray. For the first piece of art, we're going to create something sort of fluid. I cut this black piece of paper kind of in an organic form, nothing so sharp, just allowing it to sort of flow and move around. Yes, this is not paint, but I don't know, if there's something to it here. I guess it's that contrast for me. So I'm just taping it together with some Scotch tape. That's it for that first one. For our second piece of quote-unquote art, we are going to take a more geometric approach. So we're going to use a white backdrop that I'm going to cut a gray square just by folding the paper. There we have it. Next, I'm going to cut some black, I guess we'll call them tiles. These are it right here, and we're going to lay them out sort of in a stacked tile look, kind of like a checkered look almost. So I'm going to go ahead and tape them on there as such. Now, is this art? Who knows? Does it look good? Sure, why not? So that's it for this project. Let's take a look at the final result. So I was on Pinterest and I came across this, I guess we can call it a vase. Definitely something more unique. I would say this is one of those pieces where if you have it out on maybe like on a pedestal, it's like, okay, something here is important. This item looks expensive. It's, you know, cool. So when I was at the thrift store, I actually came across this right here. See the little handles? I think this is an ice bucket, if I'm not mistaken, made out of, you know, stainless. So I was like, that kind of reminded me of that piece that I saw on Pinterest. And so I was like, maybe we can put something together and make a cool vase. I don't know. This could go wrong or not. Let's take a look and see if we can make this nice. This might be the easiest DIY that I ever have done. Anyone can do this, seriously, very approachable. So we're gonna glue these two contraptions together, but before we do, we're going to take some sandpaper. I'm using 100 grit sandpaper, just giving it a light scuffing just so that the product has something to adhere to, just kind of getting into everything, although it's kind of hard to do it on metal. Anyways, we're going to glue it on with some Gorilla Glue and some glue here. Nothing too crazy. Center as best I can, and then just let it set for a few hours. Next, yes, you guessed it, we're going to use this skim coating cement item. We're going to of course add a little bit of that buff color to add that warm undertone. I don't know why I always do this, but I always like it. So we're going to mix it together, sort of like a thick paint consistency, and just brush it on, paint it. It's going to take a couple of coats since this is sort of plastic and metal, but it'll get there, don't worry. So apply that first coat, let it fully dry, apply a second coat, maybe a third coat, maybe you can use different colors, and here we have it. So I'm just going to let this play out, and that'll do it for this project. And no, I did not seal this. I don't think it's necessary. All right, friends, I think we can call it good for today. We did what we were gonna do, and let me know down in the comments below what you think, which one was your favorite project. Be sure to hit that like button. But before I send you off, I actually want to introduce my new friend. This right here is Cheryl. We'll call her Cheryl. Cheryl is a sculpture, or it's a ceramic sort of statue. I don't know how old she is, but she could definitely use a little bit of a makeover. She has her nice pearls, a nice dress here, but I think it's time for a new look. So head over to my website, casarefined.com. I'll actually put the link down below, because I'm going to try to do another DIY with this and see if we can make something high-end looking or unique. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. I don't know, because I haven't done it yet, but I'll put the link down below, so go check it out and let me know what you think. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and be sure to share this video with someone that might enjoy it. You know, let's spread the word. Be sure to check out these other videos of mine that I think you might enjoy if you haven't already, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye.